Unit 2. Design and Pre-Production. Lesson 1. Circular Product Design.
Learning objectives.
This lesson aims to introduce the basis of circular product design applied to furniture sector, through the following learning objectives. How product design can support circular economy. Design from the life cycle approach to reduce the environmental impacts. The relevance of involving the final customer. The design thinking methodology. Which are the main eco-design strategies to furniture products?
The current consuming society, linear model, and the growing world population are generating an unsustainable situation regarding environmental impact and resources scarcity. To drastically change the current consumption model to achieve a more sustainable one has to be supported by companies and citizens. The circular economy model is oriented to closed loops of energy and materials. It is estimated that over 80% of all product-related environmental impacts are determined during the design phase of a product, so the problem has to be faced from product conception. Circular design can be achieved by designing new business models and the related product service systems by applying eco-design and design thinking methodologies. Eco-design consists of considering the environmental aspects into the design process at the same level than others, with the aim of reducing its environmental impact during the whole life cycle of the product or service. It can not only be beneficial for users and society in general, but also companies that put it into practice, because it responds to the common interest of obtaining more efficient products, both economically and environmentally. The eco-designed products are innovative, have a better environmental performance and a quality at least as good as its equivalent in the market. So, the company will become more competitive and will improve its market positioning and value chain communication. Involving the final user at the design process is a key element to ensure the success of a circular business model, because first of all they should choose the circular product service system alternative at his purchasing decision, and then collaborate to put in practice the life cycle extension strategies incorporated at the product and to start the reverse logistic processes to close the different loops, repairing, refurbishing, recycling, remanufacturing. To ensure the global environmental improvement and preventing the trespassing impacts from one stage to another, when analyzing the different environmental aspects, the whole life cycle stages of the product have to be considered during the design phase. This implies from raw materials extraction and its processing to manufacture the product, all the intermediate transports and the product distribution, the use stage and its end of life, final disposal or valorization options. The eco-design strategies used to be classified according to life cycle stages. Production phase covers from the concept development to the materials selection and use reduction, the production process and the product distribution. Use is divided into two groups, the impacts from consumables etc. from the direct use of the product, and the strategies associated with the lifetime extension, to provide to function more time without the impacts associated to manufacture and disposal more units of the product. End of life considers the different waste hierarchy options from collection to final disposal options. These strategies can be connected also with the product level, component, structure or system, as shown in the picture, also called Lid's wheel. This representation can be used during the eco-design process to compare two alternative designs of the same product. Most of the new concept strategies have also the potential to reduce the materials use. This part is the stronger innovation motor since the designers are focused on the desired function and not in the product itself, and they are encouraged to achieve the function aim without the product or by means of new business models, avoid alternative products by integrating functions or reduce the amount of material needed. All the selected materials have to achieve the needed technical specifications of the product to ensure its functionality. Sometimes the right selection needs the final component design and a quantitative environmental assessment to verify the impacts from several alternatives, but in general, the following recommendations can guide the designers to select lower impacting materials, avoid hazardous substances or reduce their toxicity, especially for chemicals or finishing processes, try to use renewable resources or secondary materials. Check the selected materials, and also how they are integrated at the design, are nowadays recyclable. Finally, there are materials that need a larger amount of energy to be obtained than others, So try to collect this information and select those materials with lower energy content.
To reduce the environmental impact of the production process, both inputs and outputs should be reduced, keeping or increase the productivity. This means to do more with less. Efficient production has also positive synergies with economical or market aspects. The strategies can be focused on using efficient technologies in the transformation of raw materials, so they also generate less waste, but also on the energy consume. The energy can also provide from renewable sources as much as possible. Not only the main processes can be optimized, but also the auxiliary ones, including the selection of the auxiliary materials needed. The distribution phase considers not only the packaging design but also the logistics. The packaging must be eco-designed as an additional part of the product, following the same strategies. Reduce the amount of materials. The materials should be renewable, recycled and easy to separate and recycle. Reusable packaging can be environmentally preferable depending each specific case, because the increase of transports can produce more impact than the avoided one. So it is recommended to be analyzed by LCA. The reduction of the transport unit can increase the load efficiency and reduce the impact by product unit distributed. Other aspects not always under the control of the company can be the selection of the vehicle and the optimization of distribution routes to reduce the number of km.
When considering the eco-design of the use of the product, two different group of strategies may be considered. The reduction of inputs and outputs from the direct use of the product. That means energy or other consumables such as cleaning products, replacement parts, maintenance products, etc. This does not used to be a relevant stage of the furniture, since most of the life cycle impacts are concentrated at the production step. Having this on mind, the lifetime extension strategies acquire a great relevance because by extending it, there is avoided the production of new product units to keep the function provided. To double the use phase without more design changes, is equivalent to reduce to the half the life cycle impact. To optimize the lifetime of the furniture, reliability and intrinsic durability should be improved, and thus the satisfaction of the user. Besides, any expected maintenance or repair operation has to be facilitated, at a feasible price, and ensure the availability of spare parts.
To avoid the amount of waste generated, any strategy that facilitates its reuse or the recovery of some of their components are priority. Also, the possibility of remanufacturing or refurbishing the product should be considered and propitiated. The structural and material simplicity is again a facilitator, and any of the options to ensure the ease disassembly and reassembly, modular structure, non-permanent unions, etc. When considering recycling, the aim is to separate in an effective way the most pure materials, and avoid laminated ones. If finally energy recovery is the unique alternative, try to avoid substances that generate harmful substances during the combustion process. Eco-design aims to innovate and reduce the environmental impact of products and services. The whole life cycle of product has to be considered, from raw materials extraction to final disposal. Final user real needs and its involvement in circular strategies must be considered. To do this, functionality optimization and long-life strategies use our key objectives. Renewable, recycled and recyclable and non-harmful materials should be used. Less is more. Reduce materials and processes.